Well, league action is on hold until January the 17th. We've got the Cup before then on January the 10th, but between now and then we put the focus on the Border League. There were supposed to be two matches played in the Border League this weekend, Kelso against Langham and Gala against Melrose. Also, the Skelly Cup was to be played between Hawick and Jed Forest. Unfortunately, two of those are victim of the weather, so nothing from Jed and nothing from Kelso. So we're down here at Netherdale. They're playing. It's Gala against Melrose. The pitch at Netherdale was given the all-clear just 90 minutes before kick-off. A lot of work was done to make sure this game would go ahead, and for the first time there was a trophy at stake, the Waverley Cup, for the winners. It was a pretty uninspiring first 40 minutes, with Bruce Dick landing 2 penalties for Gala and Scott Wight getting 1 for Melrose to make it 6-3 at the interval. But soon after the break, we had our first try, and it came from Gala possession. A high kick from Andy McLean was gathered by Melrose centre James Lew on halfway, and he set off up the pitch, put in a chip ahead and won the race to the line. A few minutes later and Lew got a second. Good service from McCormick to White, then an excellent wide pass out to Jordan Macy, who loves nothing more than to run in space. And with Lew on his shoulder, it was another score for Melrose. White converted to take it to 15-6, and all of a sudden Gala were on the ropes. Melrose were finding gaps all over the park, and Macy and McCormick in particular were enjoying plenty of freedom to run the ball at the Maroons and set up some great field position. On 56 minutes, Ross Miller went over for Melrose's third try. A pretty soft one, to be fair, and you have to question the Gala defence. White popped over the extras and suddenly it was 22-6 and Melrose looked to be out of sight. But to their credit, Gala came back into it and a big kick upfield put Jordan Macy under pressure. Good follow-up work from Bruce Dick and Willie Cox gave Gala a turnover, and Cox ripped the ball clear to dive over for a deserved score. Melrose were still after that fourth try that's been so hard for them to get all season, and their backs were happy to run the ball out of defence if need be. James King here showed he's not the only Melrose centre with pace, and his chip ahead nearly gave Lew a hat-trick, but Gala's scrambled defence foiled him on this occasion. Scott Wight was as inventive as always and managed to cross the gain line a number of times with some delightful play. But despite a late score from Fraser Thompson converted by Dean Keddy, it was too late for Gala, and it was Melrose who became the first name on the Waverley Cup.
Scott, another trophy in the cabinet?
Yeah, another one. Despite the performance today, I mean, we get ourselves with a 20-point start, and then we go back to thinking it's back in summertime in the sevens, and we start chucking the ball about. You know, we just seem to keep scoring 3 tries and can't get that vital bonus point 4th try.
The second half was certainly better than the first one.
Helps with wee words. John gave us a couple of words at half time just to go back to basics, set some targets, play rugby in the right areas, you know, down the 22, whereas maybe first half we'd played too much rugby.
After the break, your chance to win a copy of the Edinburgh Academical's 150th anniversary book. It's a special edition, limited to just 150 copies, and it's signed by Mike Blair and David Soul. We're also going to look back at some of the best Borders tries in 2008. This week on the show, a chance for you to win a fabulous prize. It's the book charting 150 years of Edinburgh Academicals. It's been put together by David Barnes for Berlin Books. It's a magnificent publication, and we've got hold of one of the limited edition 150 only copies, presented in a special case and signed by two of Accies' greatest players, current Scotland captain Mike Blair and Grand Slam winning David Soul. Now, the Accies have supplied a huge number of internationals over the years, including GPS McPherson, Tom McClung, Roger Arneal, and the oldest surviving international player, Mac Henderson. And it was back in 1871 that the ground at Accies hosted the first ever international game between Scotland and England. Well, the book is a complete history of the Accies. It's worth £100, the limited edition, and it could be yours by answering a very simple question. What's the famous home ground where Edinburgh Academicals play? Well, if you think you know, send us an email to bordersrugby@hotmail.com and we'll give the answer next week. Our thanks to Berlin Books for the prize, and the book itself retails at £25 each, with that limited edition of 150 copies costing £100. Well, finally today, let's recap on 2008 so far and play you some of the best Borders tries that's been filmed by Borders Rugby Television. Until next week, bye for now.
Cut back in, he's got nobody in support, he kicks across, and Hartley, will he pick it? Yes he will, what a kick across, and Hartley dives over. Still going forward inside to Jones. Jones pins it back, and Jones is going to be in. Here comes Rory Glenn. He's just on the field of play, shooting out to Neil Darling. Darling pinning it left back, and it's yet. The Falcons 22 comes out, picked up now by Nixon. Nixon spots the gap, and he's through. Nobody's at home for Newcastle. And Hartness kicks ahead, the chase is on, Calder's chasing, Fraser Hartness is going to win that race. Will he get the touchdown? Yes he does! Out to Hartley, it's taken up by Gillespie. Gillespie straightens up and he's in, and Darren Gillespie is going to put Kelso in.